Everybody loves cartoons. They're funny, colorful, and they bring back so many memories. But do you know what else nobody can get enough of? Snacks. In this video, we're gonna combine your favorite cartoons and snacks together to create the ultimate treat. I think we can all agree that Spongebob has one of the most diverse and interesting selection of food within its universe, and we've definitely all dreamed of trying the Krabby Patty one day. But there is something else I want to bring into the real world. I'm a huge fan of hot sauces, and this one is pretty crazy. So today we're combining Pringles and Volcano hot sauce from this episode. For this design, I want to showcase both SpongeBob and the bottle of hot sauce, then maybe a volcano in the background, and of course the Pringles logo. First, we need to make SpongeBob hold the bottle of hot sauce. I got this image of SpongeBob, it's already cut out, so that's perfect. I cut out this arm from another photo and erased the original one. I got rid of the hands, and that's where the hard part starts.
Here we go again.
I roughly cut the finger and the bottle from two images of the show, but since their quality isn't that good, I'm gonna have to trace them in Illustrator. I hate this software.
This is the worst!
The process of tracing the finger took a little while. There's just something about Illustrator that I don't get. I just don't know how to use it. But anyway, after I was done, I hopped back into Photoshop.
Woo! Yeah!
And filled the fingers with the same yellow that is used on the rest of the body of SpongeBob. Now I just needed to make the bottle. I made a rate shape in the label, threw in some illustration from Google Image on top of it, and wrote some text. A few highlights and shadows, and...
Oh no!
If you've watched my recent videos, you know that generative AI has failed me before.
What the heck?
Regardless, I decided to give it another chance. Against all odds, it actually worked.
Nice job, team.
Let's slap our SpongeBob on there, and wow, I really messed up the distortion. Anyway, I got the volcano from this episode of SpongeBob and stitched up a couple of images from the show together to make a background. And while I don't think it's bad, you would just never see this in the store. And that's when I found out about these Pringles. They're Minecraft Pringles, and they have a layout that we can definitely draw inspiration from. I decided to divide the packaging in two parts, but my biggest concern was about the transition between these two parts. You see, on the Minecraft Pringles, they have these little blocks that make for a very cool and very smooth transition, but I just didn't know how I was gonna do this for my design. Thankfully, while I was looking at reference images, I stumbled across these very cool aerial views of beaches. So the only thing I had to do was turning the top part of the packaging into sand and the part where SpongeBob is into water. And then the transition would be the foam that naturally occurs when the two meet each others. Except there's a problem with this. The biggest issue my first attempt had was the overwhelming amount of details and different colors. Because on most real packaging, the majority of the surface area is plain solid color. So instead of using the photos for the packaging, I traced the foam on top of it with a white brush and then added some bubbles. This will keep the packaging simple and easy to look at. At last, I put the text on the lower half and added a Spongebob Squarepants logo above the flavor. And that's it. I think this one is pretty cool. I could definitely see myself buying these chips at the store. But what about you? What do you think about the design? Let me know in the comments. I know what you're gonna say. You go, Pokémon Oreos already exist. And you're right, it does. But do Pokémon flavored Oreo exist? No, you've never had a cookie that tasted like Pikachu. Which is not what we're doing today, because I mean, what does Pikachu even taste like? So Pokemon has these berries that can heal your Pokemons or cancel negative effects. But what if we made berry flavored Oreos? There's this berry that for some reason I find appetizing. Like, I kinda just wanna eat it. So let's just go with this one. Let's clean up that regular Oreo pack and use it as the base of our mock-up. And once again, AI did good. Adobe just killed my running joke. Now I'll add the Oreo logo where it usually sits. It seems to often be positioned in the same spot. I think replacing the second O with a Pokeball would look really nice, so I filled it and layered the Pokeball design on it. I added some shadows to create an illusion of volume and colored the top in red. This looks kinda sick.
Yeah, boy.
I imported a photo of a golden Oreo and changed the color of the filling to match the colors of the Aspire berry. Then I added illustration of the berry and of Pikachu. And like on the other packs, I added the text describing the flavor. I also tried some sort of an half-tone pattern on top of half of the design, but it didn't really look the way I expected it to. But anyway, that's it. There you have the Berry flavored Oreos. Let me know what you think about these in the comments. Have you ever wanted to try Scooby snacks? I know I did, and that's why we're gonna combine Scooby-Doo and Goldfish baked. They're just the perfect match in my opinion. You could pop a pack of Goldfish the same way Shaggy and Scooby stuffed their faces with Scooby snacks, and that would just be delicious. For this design, I originally wanted to go full Scooby-Doo and make a packaging that would match the one we can see in cartoons. So I took these images as references and turned the bottom half of the Goldfish baked into a box of Scooby snacks. I wanted to make it feel extra cartoony and I added a lot of bold outlines. I really like this design and I love the idea of sticking to the cartoon version of the box, but I just don't think Pepperidge Farm would ever release a packaging that looks like this. So let's try to make a version that could actually exist. This is what the packaging usually looks like. It usually has a white text describing the flavor and a visual representation of what's in the box. Most of the time this representation is a photo, so that may be something to keep in mind. The first step was to recreate the layout of the regular Goldfish baked, so I brought down the logo and added this dirty texture on the green color. For some reason, every of their packs has it, so... Then I got the exact font they used to write flavors and used it to write Scooby snacks. I also roughly recreated the drop shadow that these texts usually have. After that, I got biscuits that were shaped like bones off of the internet. That will be our visual representation since it's pretty close to what Scooby snacks look like in the cartoon. I also color corrected them so that they match the Goldfish color a little more. Then I got the Scooby-Doo logo and added a From Scooby-Doo text to give a recognizable element for the customer to pick up on. I think the purple on the logo gives a pretty interesting color contrast that makes the packaging stand out a little bit more. I thought that the Scooby snacks part of the design didn't take enough space on the packaging, so I decided to break it down into 2 lines. This way it was possible to make it bigger, so that the flavor of the Goldfish would be a bit more obvious. The only thing left to do was adding in the small details like the weight, and at this point I thought that maybe it could have a little something more. So I decided to make an environment to put it in. I asked the AI to generate a countertop, I warped it and lit it better. Then I generated a kitchen background and gave it some blur. I also wanted Scooby-Doo's paw to be in the background, so I got this image from an animation movie and cut it out. I also color corrected it and gave it some blur. And there you go. Here you have the Goldfish Bake and Scooby-Doo collab. I had a lot of fun making all of these designs and I hope this video was as much fun to watch. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and if you want to watch another video just like this one, you can click right here.